Today we're going to draw the muscles of the face. We're going to begin by drawing muscles that are located at the brow, and they're small muscles that come in on a diagonal. So I'm drawing the shape on the left side, and then I'll lighten it up so you can see it. And we'll go ahead and put that same shape over here on the right side. So these muscles are pronounced corrugator, and they're spelled C-O-R-R-U-G-A-T-O-R. These are the corrugator muscles, and they do help to lift your eyebrows. I'm putting in a little bit of shading that should help to feel a little bit like the muscle fibers. The next muscle that I would like to put in is at the top of the nose, and it's called the procerus, and it covers up the nasal bone. So it's a little bit bigger than the nasal bone. It's in between the two corrugators. And that muscle is spelled P-R-O-C-E-R-U-S, procerus. So we have a corrugator muscle on each side of the brow. And then we have right at the top overlapping and covering up our nasal bone, and that is called the procerus, P-R-O-C-E-R-U-S. The next muscle that I'd like to do on the nose, we're going to bring this in just a little bit closer. It's called the nasalis. So it covers the bottom of the procerus and it goes across the nose. It looks like those breathing strips that some people buy and put on their nose at night. And that's where this muscle is located. So I always think of this muscle as kind of central to the nose itself. So there we go. We have two corrugator muscles, the procerus and the nasalis. Nasalis is spelled N-A-S-A-I-L-I-S. All right, let's go down into, now we know that this is all cartilage here, cartilage here, cartilage here. But the muscles that happen on the side of the nose are part of a group of three, and there's three muscles on each side of the nose. So we'll start over here. We're going to bring the muscle from the glabella straight down the side of the nose to the bottom right here. So the group of three are called quadratus labii superioris, and this happens to be known as the angular head of that group of three muscles. And it does come down at an angle, just like my pencil. The next muscle in this group is skinny and goes to the zygomatic bone, and so that refers to its name, zygomatic head. So it attaches here on the zygomatic bone, and then it attaches to the bottom of the angular head. So let's go ahead and put the angular head on this side as well. And even though there's shadow over there, we can go into that and lighten it up a little bit. So angular head is A-N-G-U-L-A-R, and then the word head. And then zygomatic head, which is the small one I'm drawing right now, that is the word zygomatic, Z-Y-G-O-M-A-T-I-C. So we have the quadratus labii superioris, quadratus, Q-U-A-D-R-A-T-U-S, that's quadratus, labii, L-A-B-I, superioris, S-U-P-E-R-I-A-R-I-S. So that's the name of the group of muscles, and then each muscle has its own reference term: angular head, zygomatic head, and then the last one is in between these two. So we do those first because there's one that's right in between. So it connects to the edge of the orbit and it comes in on an angle right in between those two muscles. So that's called the infraorbital head, I-N-F-R-A-O-R-B-I-T-A-L, infraorbital head. Quadratus labii superioris is the angular head, the zygomatic head, and the infraorbital head. Next, we're going to come up to our forehead. There's a muscle that is divided into two. Has two parts. So one part is on this side of the forehead, just above the corrugators. So I'm going to lighten up the hair so we can see this a little bit better. And basically, this sits across the front of your skull on your frontal bone. So the epicranius, E-P-I-C-R-A-N-I-U-S. This is the frontal part of the epicranius. And then we'll go ahead and add the other side, which is right here. All right, here we go. So this is the frontal part of your epicranius right here. Corrugators, procerus, nasalis, quadratus labii superioris, angular head, zygomatic head, infraorbital head. Now we're going to get into two face muscles that are considered some of the only muscles in your body that are round. So one goes around your mouth, the other muscles go around your eyes. So we'll start with the mouth, where the angular head of the quadratus labii superioris ends and the zygomatic head ends. We're going to curve this around, coming down to the corner of the mouth and then around that. We're going to do the same thing under the nose, coming around this way. Same shape. Get to the corner of the mouth, we're going to round it out like this. So that's the top portion of this round muscle. We're going to lighten up the corners of the mouth. Because what we found is that some of the muscles of our face actually fuse into the skin. So a lot of the muscles fuse to the bones like they do in the rest of the figure. But when you see something light like this, that's where the muscle, this rounded muscle, fuses into the surface skin. All right, now what we have is a rounded muscle with muscle fibers that are curving around the shape of the mouth. So we'll lighten this up a little bit. So you can see how that goes. We're going to come from the corner of the mouth and come up this way. Come from the philtrum and go the other way. So again, this is the top part of what we call the orbicularis oris. Obicularis. And then oris, oris. Orbicularis oris. The bottom portion of this is a little bit smaller in size, so it goes like this, comes up, comes back down. Bring some muscle fibers coming towards this way. There we have it. Your orbicularis oris. Now we're going to add the rounded muscle known as the orbicularis oculi. Goes around our eyes. So we'll come from the corrugator, go a little bit above that edge of the orbit, come all the way out to the edge of the zygomatic bone, and then come down to the bottom of the orbit, cover over the infraorbital head of the quadratus labii superioris, and then come in. So we'll do that on this side. and go on the other side. So I'm going to erase a little bit. There you go. These are the rounded muscles around your eye, the orbicularis oculi. Oculi is O-C-U-L-I. All right, now we're getting down towards the lower part of our face. We're going to put in a muscle that connects to the edge of the orbicularis oris, and it comes over here to the large portion of our zygomatic bone that's exposed, our cheek. It's going to come right to the corner of the mouth. So this has a really cool name. It's the zygomaticus, Z-Y-G-O-M-A-T-I-C-U-S. The zygomaticus. So the zygomatic head of the quadratus labii superioris is just above that. So then this one is in a similar place, but it's much larger. All right, we lightened that up. Now we're going to put in a muscle that comes from underneath this zygomaticus and covers up this part of our jaw. It's also known as your chewing muscle because that's really one of its sole purposes is to help move the jaw up and down, open and close. So this is called the masseter. M-A-S-E-T-E-R. So once you put the masseter in, it sort of covers up that angle of the mandibula. And so it starts to fill in the side of our cheek. Masseter. Give a little bit more volume on this side. There we go. So I've got our masseter. And now we want to add in our triangularis from the corner of the mouth down towards the chin. It's a triangle shape. So it comes like that. Do the same thing on this side. And this is the triangularis. Triangularis. We have a quadratus labii inferioris. So it comes from under the orbicularis oculi and it angles like this. So it's a small triangle shape and it goes underneath your triangularis. And then with the part of the chin that's exposed, we're going to put in what's called the mentalis. So it comes in towards the middle, leaves a small triangle right there. And then we would shade lightly each part of this. So this is one side of the mentalis. This is the other side. And then this little triangle here is just going to be bone with a little tendon on top. So we'll just shade that in a little bit. So there's no special muscle right there. All right, so just to pull this back a little bit and point out all the muscles that we covered. We started with our corrugators, went to the procerus, the nasalis, the quadratus labii superioris, angular head, zygomatic head, infraorbital head. Then we have the frontal part of the epicranius, which is up here. And then we have the rounded muscle going around your mouth, orbicularis oris. This is orbicularis oculi. And then we have the zygomaticus, which is the large muscle coming off the cheekbone, the masseter, the triangularis, the quadratus labii inferioris are these two. And then these are known as the mentalis muscles. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you learned a lot more about the muscles of the face.